This training module will take us through the basics of IPv4 addressing, including its requirement, basic structure, and related key IP addressing terms. Key sections under this module are: what is IP address, IP address structure, IP address class types, and public and private IP addresses. IP address is the term which stands for Internet Protocol Address. Now, let's understand why IP address or Internet Protocol Address is necessary. Let's take an example where we need to send letter from one house to another house. In this case, the letter envelope will have destination address in the format of house, street, area, city, and then state. Now, since the destination address is clearly available, the mailing system will deliver the letter to the right destination address. The transfer of letter from source house to destination house is only possible since destination house address was available. Computer network system also communicates in a closed fashion like mailing system. Like the destination house address is required in mailing system, IP address is required in computer networking system. When source computer needs to send any information to destination computer, the packet contains destination computer IP address, which is routed through the underlying network system. This section will share detail on structure of an IP address. An IP address is made up of two parts. First part is called the network ID and second part is called host portion or the host ID. As shown in the scenario, network ID and host ID combine to form IP address. Below is an example of IP address which has network portion of 192.168.0 and host portion of .10. When both are combined, an IP address is formed which is 192.168.0.10. IP address includes 32 bits of binary number. In given example of 192.168.0.10, when the decimal IP format is converted into binary format, we will get 4 sections of ones and zeros. These 4 sections of each set of binary numbers are called octets. An IP address will have only 4 octets of 8 bits each under binary format. These octets are called octet 1, octet 2, octet 3, and octet 4 respectively. In this section, we will discuss around class types in IP addressing. There are primarily 5 classes in IPv4 addresses. The classes are based on octet used. Class A includes first octet of network portion and rest of octets belong to host portion. The network portion of class A address ranges from 1 to 127. Class A can have approximately 16 million hosts. Class B includes first and second octets of network portion and rest of octets belong to host portion. The network portion of Class B ranges from 128 to 191. Class B can have 65,534 hosts. Class C includes first 3 octets of network portion and fourth octet belongs to host portion. The network portion of Class C address ranges from 192 to 223. Class C can have approximately 254 hosts. Class D is reserved for multicasting and has range from 224 to 239. Class E is reserved for research and development purpose and has range from 240 to 254. In this section, we will understand IP address types, that is, public IP addresses, and private IP addresses. Also, what are their differences? In a LAN setup where devices communicate to each other and don't need to go out of LAN, we use private IP address. As shown in the scenario, a unique private IP address has been assigned to each computer within the LAN, and as we see, they are comfortably able to communicate to each other. Considering the limited scope of private IPs, we may clearly state that private IP scope is within a LAN. When it comes to communication between LANs which are separated geographically and connected through internet, in this case, private IP from one LAN will not be able to communicate with other LAN private IP. In this case, we require public IPs at each site for end-to-end communication to occur. As shown in the scenario, public IP will be used for sending information from one site to other over internet. This holds true for both to and fro traffic communication over internet. Considering the vast scope of public IP, we may clearly state that public IP scope is global and spans over internet. This slide will compare private IP and public IP addresses. The first and foremost difference between both is that private IP is used within the LAN. On the other hand, public IP is used for communication over public network, that is, internet. Private IP is assigned by LAN administrator of the customer. Generally, customer administrator assigns private IP pool from IP block and also allocates to various segments of the LAN. On the other hand, public IP blocks are with IANA, that is, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, which ultimately are assigned to customers. Customers don't have the leverage to assign any set of public IP to their network. While private IPs can be same or overlapping in different customer LAN setup, like 192.168.00/24 is the most commonly used LAN private IP pool. Hence, we can say that private IP is unique only inside the LAN, while public IP is unique globally. Private IP is free and has no associated cost, unlike public IP, which is not free. In fact, the range of IP block for private IP is totally different from public block as shown here. That brings us to the end of training module.